Hey, this is David again from CheapWineFinder.com. And today we have just a simple wine, something from ALDI. It's a $4.99 Chianti. The name of it is the Global Adventure Series Chianti DOCG 2018. And it's $4.99. And this is like the third or fourth ALDI $5 Chianti DOCG that at the CheapWineFinder.com website we've reviewed over the years. I think one's at 2011. They've been doing this for a while. And I'm going and just checking those old reviews, and they were always okay, better than you expected, and so was this one. And it's kind of along what I've been trying to preach lately, is that people in Europe who drink wine every single day never ever spend more than what's the equivalent to $10 on a bottle of wine. I mean, it's always just a few euros. So here's this DOCG Chianti that is brought all the way thousands of miles from Tuscany. An importer has to be paid. They got to pay for transportation. It's still only $4.99. How they make this stuff, I don't know, and ship it all this way and, distribute it everywhere. They're not making a lot of money per bottle, and, there's not a lot of going in it. But here's the thing about the DOCG aspect of this wine. In Europe, and we'll talk about Italy, though, there is governing boards, the DOC and the DOCG, and it's like the Department of Control or whatever in Italian. And the DOCG stands for guaranteed, and this is a DOCG wine. And the rules and regulations for the farming of the grapes and the yield and all those things and the production of the wine once the grapes are picked, they're fairly strict. And yeah, this is an everyday wine, but that still adheres to the stricter rules. I mean, this isn't, often you'll see a IGP, I think it used to be IGT wines, which were, the wines didn't quite meet the rules, but they were of the region. And those can come in cheaper, but a DOCG wine, one that has to conform, that's a little harder. And here we go, a $4.99 Chianti, which is Sangiovese for the most part. It says red blend on the bottle, and that's all it tells you. And I think the rules are that 70% of it has to be Sangiovese, and there's a couple of local grapes they can put in there. And I think they can also add Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot and possibly a couple other things, and they don't say what's in here. But as a blend, it's going to be probably the minimum or more of 70 Sangiovese from Tuscany, and that's the biggest wine-growing region in Tuscany. There's some good wines there. And this is the kind of wine people in Italy would drink every single day. If you're looking for wine just to sip while you're watching, your favorite show on Hulu or something, this probably isn't it, because it has tannins and it's got some bolder, it's not the most flavorful wine in the world. Not to say it doesn't taste good, but there are more delicious wines, but this has some structure to it. And I think this is like a perfect pizza wine. I mean, you don't even have to order out. You can find the best frozen pizza and, it's $4.99. And have that, and it would go perfectly, because sometimes wines that are a little bit, this one's rustic, it's got some tannins and it's got rough edges, but at a $4.99 Chianti, you kind of want those. You want the experience. This is what it should have. And at $5, you can go to Domino's. I mean, I'm from Chicago. It's like sacrilege to go to Domino's. I don't know what they taste like. I've never had them because, you can't do that in Chicago. But, if you could have this with this wine, and it'd go great. And if you had, the best local pizza in town and you wanted to have a glass of wine with it, this would be perfect. You don't want your wine to cost more than your meal. So $5, you order out, get, a medium for $15 or something. And, this is right there, a third the cost. It makes perfect sense. This is a wine that makes sense. It tastes good. I mean, I wouldn't pick it just to sip on its own, but if I was going to have, anything Italian with red sauce, this would go. I would consider this. This is not bad at all. But it does need food to balance. Not that you can't drink it alone, because that's probably what I'm going to do. I usually, after I'm done with these things, sit back and turn on something or listen to music or do something. And because I have some wine to drink and I have to do some production on the podcast, and it takes me some time to do it, and I might as well finish the bottle off. And that's my technique. And that's all there is to say about this wine. It's a nice little $4.99 wine. You would never guess how much it costs. It wouldn't. You never go, oh, it's $4.99. Because it's kind of like, it's very drinkable. It's good. It's the kind of wine that people in Italy will drink every single day. And, I mean, you get told by advertising and marketing that, oh, this stuff's terrible. Why would you do that? You can't, this is too cheap to drink. Now, you'd be surprised. And then if you order out a pizza or just throw, something in the oven, DiGiorno rising crust, and you pour yourself a glass of wine, you're going to have a nice little meal the wine will just make it. It'll put the cherry on top or the pepperoni on top, as it were. And that's it for me for this one. I was thinking about something I wanted to add to this because I have a new aerator I've been using. I'm not being paid for this or anything, and they don't know I do it. I think they're out of China anyway. They got masks over their face right now because they're trying not to get the flu. But it's called Invinity, and it's one of those handheld aerators that it's kind of elongated egg shape, and you pour the wine into the top of it while you hold it, and then over the glass. And there's this umbrella assembly on the top of it. You pour it on, so it kind of the wine breaks over the rocks. And then it trickles down to a shelf that has regular holes in it, and some of the wine goes straight through, and some of it splashes and then goes down the hole. Then it goes down. It kind of swirls down to the next level that kind of is smaller, so it brings everything together and clogs things up for it slower than it drizzles out. And I've been using it since the first part of January or so, and I'm always trying to aerate my wines because I want it to taste the best. I don't want to, because every so often I'll be, after I write a review, I'll be, taking a sip and getting everything finished off, and I'll taste it again and where did blueberry come from? And then there's, or where did banana get there? I didn't taste that at first. I have to go back in and change everything because it was tight when I had it. And how do you know? Just it doesn't have a lot of flavor. Sometimes you don't know, especially since I don't drink the same wines every day, so I don't know what to expect all the time. I have an idea, but I don't really know. And ever since I've been using this, $4.99 wines taste great. I mean, I haven't had that many super expensive wines, and the mouthfeel's improved. The nose is better. This one didn't have a great nose, but so it's and I've tried other things before that kind of help, but this is the only one that every single time I use it, I'm like, gee, this is good. I mean, this is a good drinking experience. And like I said, the wines I drink aren't the most expensive in the world, but I'm having a good time drinking them. So there you go. So it's Invinity, or let me grab it. INVINETY. I think it's a Chinese knockoff of one of those. I think it's Veneries, which are an upscale brand. But I kind of checked out Amazon, and that one was a little bit different. And I know this one works, and I think I got it for less than it is now. I think it's closer to $20 now. But if you're having interest in getting your wine tasting really good, if you're into box wine, you just want to have a glass every so often. Well, the problem with box wine is every glass you pour is tight. Well, you grab one of these, put it through that into your glass. It's a little bit hard to use all of your hands because you got to push the spigot and hold this over the glass and blah, blah, blah. But your wine will taste a heck of a lot better. And if you're just looking to pop the top and drink, it's going to be much improved. So that's me talking about something I found that makes my wines better. Like I said, I don't get anything for this. I'm just giving them a plug. So there we go. I'm not sure what's next. We'll find something. It's getting warmer little by little. I don't know if rosé is still the thing it used to be, but I think we're going to hit a few rosés and some sparkling rosés just because spring is on the way. It's almost here. We're in Chicago. I think it's going to be 50s and 60s by Sunday. So that's good and puts me in that mood, and I'll talk to you later. So adios. I'll keep it cheap.